All right. So what is like the biggest problem you see with America's common dating culture, or whatever you call it?
Yeah.
Like the current dating climate
Right.
in America.
It's interesting because in America, like the stats for loneliness is like through the roof, right? Like the feeling of being lonely, right? And that's not just an American issue. That's, was it the UK?
First world problems.
Yeah, first world problems, right? Like the UK established a minister of like loneliness, like basically like, we're here trying to solve this loneliness problem,
He's going to go off by himself and figure this out.
Right. And so like, and I bring that up because like the loneliness is real. And especially coming out of COVID and all the isolationism within there. So like that part is real. And then we have these disconnected relationships or the relationships that really aren't substantial if it's just social media relationships, right? Like we're just like, that's not substantial enough. And so I wonder if we're trying to deal with our loneliness or deal with these, shallower than they should be social media relationships, and trying to fill that void with like quick, like with a quick sense of intimacy, and so I think that dating is trying to, like, I'm with somebody and that is supposed to take care of the loneliness, or that's supposed to take care of the fact of I'm not really having these deep, meaningful relationships via social media. And I'm not saying you can't have relationships via social media, right? Like where but still at the same time, all the science points to, yes, you can have relationships there, but I mean, you've even got parts of your brain that aren't interacting through a screen. It's just not happening.
And then other parts that are firing way too much.
Way too much. Yeah. And so I think that that's part of it. So I'm trying to...
Hi, the audience. Did you feel that?
And so
it's dopamine and depression at the same time.
It is. It's wild. And so we're gonna give you greater amounts of dopamine just so your depression is even deeper. Oh Lord. Anyways, sorry to contribute toward that. Yeah. And but
we value your listenership. However, we know when it's over, you might be sad. Right. You can find someone else to listen to.
Yeah, that's okay. You can become codependent on a whole lot of different people.
Right.
God almighty. All right.
Oh, man.
But I do think that is...
You think there's people codependent on us?
On us?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I hope not.
No, probably not.
I don't even like being codependent on myself.
I definitely don't.
Is that the right thing to say?
I don't depend on myself.
Other people... Right.
Yeah. So,
what were you going to say?
Anyways, I think that there's a sense, again, we're trying to find connection. We're trying to find this more meaningful relationship. And I think what happens is in dating, it's almost like it's like you almost have like two extremes. I think you've got the one side that's like, I'm looking for just a quick, connection, right? AKA the hookup culture, right? And then there's the other side of like, I'm gonna throw myself fully and completely into this dating relationship, and it's like, you've gone from 0 to 100 in a millisecond, and you're just all in on this relationship because it gives you some sense of connectedness and some sense of meaningful relationship, and you don't feel as lonely and you don't feel so disconnected, and but then now unfortunately you've moved so fast because so much is dependent on this relationship. And so the physical intimacy, the emotional intimacy, the mental intimacy, spiritual intimacy, and it's not just the intimacy of it, it's like the need of it. Like I'm feeling some sense of deep satisfaction in all of these areas through this person. And then when that relationship ends, it's like, devastation. Yeah. And then I got to be quick to replace it with another relationship.
You've also got people that don't want anything to do with it.
Yes. And that's true too.
Yeah.
And that's true too. And so I do think though
So why do you think people are doing all these things?
Okay. Again, I think the dating part is what I was talking about earlier, like people who do want to date and do be, I do think, again, they're looking for a connection. Mm-hmm. I do think, and I think that's actually biblical. I think it's actually scriptural. Like when God said it's not good for a man to be alone, like there's actually a desire within us to be with somebody, to be in a relationship, to be in a deeper relationship with someone. I think we were made for that. You don't have to even believe in God, but it's there. It's in you. You're wired for it. And so I think we long for those things. The problem is I'm just trying to take care of it just with, one night stand here, one night stand here, da da da. Like when that's it, like you're again, it's almost like you're chasing those dopamine,
right?
Hits, and it's just like, okay, I felt great with this, then I felt good, and it's just like, okay, but you're actually not dealing with the connectionness, longing that's within you. And then the other side over here, because all their eggs have been thrown into one basket and there's not enough probably healthy relationships other than this person that they're dating around them that they're a part of. Now this is the circle of everything. And so everything moves so fast. And I think that becomes part of the problem in the dating relationship.
Okay.
Because it's like everything's moving so fast, and then, oh wait, but if I had done this normally, slowed down, got to know this person, 3 months in, 6 months in, whatever it may be, I go, don't really want to be with this person, right? Now I can break up, leave, move on. But now because I've gotten so much involved in all of this, when the breakup does happen, it ends up being a mess. So
they used to tell us that we were looking for someone else to fill the God hole.
Yeah.
Do you believe in that?
Yeah, actually I don't.
Okay.
And this is going to get there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I actually don't. And so this is going to get people riled up. I mean, other Christians.
Cool. Here we go.
Yeah. I mean, some other Christians are really going to disagree with me on this.
All right.
Because they're going to be like, God should be enough. God should be satisfying. God should complete you. Right. Did you ever watch the Jerry Maguire movie?
Oh yeah. You complete me.
Yeah. When he walks in, you complete me. Like, okay. So when I was in college, that was shown a lot. And then it was like transferred over to, this is the way we should feel about God.
Right.
God completes me,
Okay.
I actually kind of go back more toward the movie and go, nah, he was closer, actually, than you crazy Christians over here. And here's what I mean by that. We got Adam and Eve, or you got Adam. Let's just do Adam. You've got Adam.
Okay.
He's in creation. God is like walking amongst him, right?
Oh, all the time.
All the time. Like God is fellowshipping with Adam. So Adam has a relationship with God.
That guy.
Yeah.
That guy hovered.
Well, there's no one else.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and like, so it's like,
I was like, go get her. Go get her, Adam.
So it's like God, Adam, and then there's all the animals, and God and Adam's named the animals. And so, but it's interesting because it says that God looked and saw man and said it's not good for man to be alone.
Right.
But yet God was with man
the whole time.
So how was man alone? And he's an unbroken relationship, right? Like Adam's not in sin. He's in a great relationship with God. And so there's this sense of like, well, then how in the world is Adam really alone if he's got God? Like, and that's what we're telling these young people. Okay. Hey, you don't need to date. You don't need to be with somebody. Like, God is enough. God will complete you. Well, God even said for Adam, it's not good for man to be alone. And so he has the animals, brought the animals, Adam's naming all the animals. That doesn't cut it. And the problem is that that Adam had, like, he had the animals, but he was in charge of the animals, right? He was given dominion over them. And so like they have he has a relationship where he is over them. Okay. And then there's God. Well, God is over Adam because God created Adam.
Right.
And so now Adam has a relationship with God. He's going up, and a relationship with the animals. He's kind of looking down and dominion over them. But there's no one of his equal. There's no one shoulder to shoulder with him. And so that's why God looked at me and said, it's not good for man to be alone. It's not good for man to be without man.
So does God get lonely then?
No, because God is, and this is, I think, one of the beautiful parts of the Trinity, because God is 3 in 1.
Oh.
there is no loneliness built into God, but there is community built in with God. There's relationship built in with God.
So they're a throuple.
If we're going to start using dating terms, whatever. So, they're Trinity.
Okay.
They're not a throuple. They're Trinity.
Okay.
Okay.
The holy
they're tri-unity.
Okay.
All right. And so,
the Holy Spirit's included in there. Did I just do that?
Yeah.
I'm screwed. Here we go. I can't get out of these podcasts.
We've talked about this.
We need to stop.
We've talked about this. And so, but I think so my point is, my point just being is that, so there's man, and man actually needs humanity with, like, we were made to be in a relationship with humanity. Okay. And so I actually think that like when you were, told that in youth ministry, or like, we were told that at times in our campus ministry, like, no, that's just not actually right. Yes, God is ultimately fulfilling and ultimately satisfying. He actually fills the eternal longings in my heart. That's true.
Okay.
God does feel like, when in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 11, when it says that eternity has been placed in our hearts, there's an eternal longing that's in us that actually only God can satisfy. That part is true. Man being alone and God just being enough. Now, God does call some to singleness, and so for them, that is the case. But for the majority of people, we were meant to be in relationship with somebody. And
so you don't think that people out, like, from your pastor Christian perspective, people are trying to turn their significant others into God to fill God hole that's not, because God's not there?
No, that does happen.
Okay.
100% that happens.
Well, I feel like that's what people are talking about. Okay. Not like I have God already and then the person I'm dating fills a different void.
Yeah. Well, no, I guess the way I've heard it is, this way I've heard that phrase before is, all you need is God. You don't need somebody else.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I've heard it like you're trying to replace God with somebody else.
Okay. And that can happen. Okay. Right. So I guess maybe we're looking at it a couple different ways. Yeah. But yeah, the way I heard it when I was like in campus ministry was, you don't ever need to date anybody to be complete. God does that. And what I'm saying is, yes, God hits the eternal longings in us, but there are temporal, if you want to put it that way, longings in us that God actually put there as well.
Okay.
And part of that is to be in relationship and connected to others. And so, and for most of us, that actually means a marriage relationship, And so I do think that is real and true. But I agree with you. Yes, there are individuals that, are trying to fill that eternal longing with something that's temporal, whether a dating relationship or something else. Mm-hmm. I absolutely, that happens as well. So, yes. But I would say God fulfills the eternal longings within us. But based upon even what we see in Genesis chapter 2, God's desire for mankind, for most of humanity, is that they would get married and have a relational connectedness with their spouse that fulfills a desire within them as well.
Why do you say most of humanity?
Because I do believe there are some, like Paul, that were called to, and that are called to singleness.
I thought you meant like a period of time where that didn't apply.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No.
So then all these arguments that people have for why they date the way they do, like we need to live together to know if we want to, work to live together, and how do I know if the sex is going to work unless we have sex together, and how do I know, all the things that have been said over the years, are those wrong according to you?
Yeah.
Why?
They are, because I don't have to live with someone to get to know that individual. Okay. Now, are there things that I'm going to learn about that individual once we're married and living together? Yes. Okay. No doubt. But I think that also is for me, that's, you get to know a person, and yes, there are things you're going to get.
And this can go all the way down to are they a good kisser? We need to kiss each other to know. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
No. You're good. And so yes, I don't think you have, again, I don't think you have to live with each other to get to know one another. Mm-hmm. But yes, there are things you're going to get once you're married and living with each other, you're going to get to know about the other person. And that may be a little shocking to you, or that may annoy you, or whatever. But because you've developed a friendship that doesn't require you having to live together, because you've developed a friendship, and hopefully you're learning how to communicate and talk with each other, these things can be dealt with. Because the reality is, even if I live with someone for a period of time, trying to get to know them, and then, let's say we get married and then, we're continuing to live together, there's still things that we're going to learn about the other person later on living with them, right. And people do change, right? Like, and so I think all of these things are kind of part of it. Like, I mean, like, so for example, like, Melanie said that, early on in our relationship, she would like reach over after, after we were married and living together, she'd reach over and like hit my face a little bit, when we were in bed, because she was like, you just make this weird noise when you sleep, and it's like, we all have those kind of like weird little things, that we learn about each other, but it doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, this is a deal breaker. No, it's just, all right, that's different, or that's annoying. Let's figure this stuff out, right? So I don't think you have to live together to know each other. And the whole idea of, all right, we got to have sex, and to make sure the sex is okay. Well,
right.
Like that one just drives me a little bit crazy, if I'm being honest. Because here's why.
Why?
Because for me, sex is actually something that actually can evolve over time and actually become better over time. And so to gauge if sex is good or not within, you need to have sex to see if it's good or not. Well, like, because a couple things. You may have sex and go, well, that wasn't great, but it doesn't mean it's not going to become great. Okay? Because, because as you're growing together in intimacy in other ways, sexual intimacy can grow as well. And also so there's that one part. There's the other part of like, well, sex was awesome. And it's this, and if sex is just seen in this context of, this kind of passionate, romantic sex. And so, oh yeah, sex is great. And then you get married. And then at some point in time, it's not just this passionate, romantic thing. Like, are you just going to go, well, no, that's no good. Let's end this, or let's break up, or whatever. Whether you've gotten married or not gotten married, maybe you've been living together and you're like, well, sex is boring now, I'm out. Like, no, but I think that, people actually work on these things. And so you talk about sex, you communicate about sex. Like, I think for maybe there's a lot of couples.
Yeah, but relationships should just be amazing all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think maybe that's the false reality we get from, whether it's from other people or social media or movies or whatever, right? Like, the reality is, in every aspect of our relationship, we're going to work at it, to grow in intimacy. So whether that's communication, that's conflict resolution, whether that's speaking love languages, whether that is sex, whatever it may be, we're always working at it, hopefully, and growing in it, and so, my wife and I would say sex at, after 21 years of marriage is way better than sex in the first few months of marriage. We would actually say that. And so I think that, again, though, it's growing in intimacy, it's growing in relationship, it's working on things, it's communicating about things. And I just think these are all things that can be part of a healthy marriage relationship.
All right, so one more time. How should Christians date? One more go.
Starbucks.
See if we can do it without Starbucks. Just cap us off again.
All right. If you're a young person living in your parents' home, okay, the parents do need to be part of the process in the sense of
a little bit, but not all the time.
Not all the time.
Okay.
And so date when you go out on dates, do it in public spaces. Okay? Get to know the person, honor the Lord, honor the other individual, love the Lord, love that other individual, respect them, honor them, and with a goal of getting to know that person. Okay? And for individuals that are dating outside of the context of parents' home, okay, and I do think this is where that part differs. I'm not going to have parents as part of the process, but I would say this: have individuals that you trust that can give you counsel, that can hold you accountable to things. Like I would have those people involved, not in the sense that they got to meet the person, they got to go out on dates with us, or we have the girl. I'm not saying that kind of stuff, right? Like. But you want individuals that you trust, that can give you counsel, that you trust, that can hold you accountable to things. And again, public spaces, and because again, the goal is get to know the person and get to know what is their, get to know them about in their regards to their faith, get to know them in regards to their likes and their dislikes, get to, what are their hobbies, their activities, what are the things that they enjoy doing. You want to, those are all the things, and then go do things together, right?
Sitting in the back of a movie theater is technically a public space.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Just throwing it out there.
Throwing it out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry for all,
Yeah, I know.
I'm just trying to make things hard. I guess. Throwing ideas out there.
I know. Thanks for that, Nate. I appreciate that.
It was called public storage. We rented out one of the public storage units. We were in public.
No. Okay, so, but you understand what I'm saying, obviously.
It'd get really hot in there. Unless you got a climate control one.
Dude, those climate control ones are pretty awesome.
Yep.
So, but not for that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
I do. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, again.
There's no way around what you're saying at all.
Again, public spaces, and again, it's just for accountability purposes, number one. And then you can do things with your family. Like when Melanie and I were dating, I did stuff with her family. She got to know my family. That's part of it too. So
Starbucks till you're married. That's what you're saying.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Just
bring it back to that.
Starbucks should be sponsoring us at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Somebody tell them.
Yeah. Cool.
But,
sorry, discipleship group. we got a new sponsor.
And they're paying us buck.
Right.
So that's just Anyway.